I am doing okay. What's going on?
Well, so, once again, someone called for you, whatever you posted.
I'm good. And one thing I want to know is, a few days ago, I was falsely arrested when somebody was out here. They were inciting a riot. They literally got all of our neighbors together and came down here and put me and my family in immediate danger, and I was falsely arrested without even being able to speak my piece.
Well, I'm just...
Was this the kid you assaulted with a bat?
It does not matter. He came over here and incited a riot.
But it's the guy you assulted with a bat, though, right?
It does not matter.
Okay.
We're going to get going.
Yeah, no, you guys are good.
Yep.
You guys are good. This is going to go round and round.
Appreciate you. Good luck, bro. Be safe.
Thank you.
Oh man, you're gonna see so many taxpayer dollars wasted in this video. Cyrax has been telling anybody and everybody his turmoils with the court system, his turmoils of being arrested, everything bad that's happened to him in the past month. He's been trying to tell anybody he can that he's innocent. But it's all seemingly going on deaf ears, as you'll come to see in this video, because the cops don't care, his lawyer doesn't even care, nobody cares, but Cyrax is going to tell it to them anyway, and that'll be the constant you'll see here. So many times in this video are you going to see Cyrax talking to different people about the same topic, because he really, I think somewhere deep in the doldrums of Cyrax's tiny mind, does he think that he's going to talk his way out of this situation. One of these cops is going to go, you know what, Chance, like, we're gonna do this. We're going to do this together. Let me put you in the car. We're going to go down to the station. I'm going to single-handedly drop these charges, and we're going to go find the guy who you swung the bat at. He keeps calling the cops and telling them that they're not doing their jobs, making videos online telling the cops that they're not doing their jobs, and it's funny because he's still making videos even like the day before this was made. And as you'll soon come to find out, at court the other day, Cyrax's public defender told him to stay off the internet. And what did Cyrax do? He got right on the internet and basically fired his lawyer because Cyrax knows best, ladies and gentlemen. But the big news that I think a lot of people clicked on this video for is to find out what happened with Cyrax's court date. And well, it's pretty straightforward. Cyrax went in, he pled not guilty, and it looks like we're going to trial. The next time Cyrax will be in court is on August 14th and then August 22nd. A lot of people think that the 14th is when the jury selection will be. We'll have to see. This is going to be coming out near the end of the summer. We got about a month left till we find out more. And that just means another month of a fearful goblin, because one thing you're going to see in this video is how scared Cyrax has been leading up to this. He knows he could go to jail possibly. You know, he might get put on probation, and that's seemingly what he wanted, but he didn't get it. So I think we're in for a lot more of Cyrax telling anybody he can that he's innocent over the next month, and that's what we're going to look at here today, because he's already started and it's in full effect. So let's jump into seeing what Cyrax has been up to. So on screen right now, you're going to be greeted to a wrestling match between William Gloryhole and Cyrax. Now, if you've always wanted to see William Gloryhole get his hands on Cyrax, I think this is a pretty good simulation. You'll come to see the goblin gets some hands, as you're currently seeing right now. But William uploaded a recording of a phone call that Cyrax had with a 911 dispatcher, where Cyrax had called to ask for a cop to come out to ask him questions about why he was arrested, because he just can't help himself. He's just got to try to bitch and moan at anyone he can because he feels like he's been slighted, even though he's the one who assaulted somebody. So let's go ahead and listen to this. And if you want to listen to the full call without the wrestling on screen and everything, it's down the link in the description below on William's channel. Go give him a sub for all this hard work, because none of this stuff you see in this video would be seen without him.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Smokeymcc, and I was wondering if there's any way that you could put me through to either your guys' captain or the chief of police, because there's something going on that is not right within your guys' department, and I need to speak with one of the higher-ups.
Okay, well, the chief is not in, sir, so I'd have to send a sergeant out for you.
All right, that'll work. If you can get me in contact with a sergeant or something, that'd be great.
Okay, what's going on, sir?
A couple weeks ago, well, this has actually been going on for a very long time. Over the past 2.5 years, my family has been reporting in cyberbullying incidents that have been going on with me and my family, and we have tried to get your guys' department to do something about all this. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, one of those cyberbullies came to my house and incited a riot. And when I protected my family, I got arrested because when I went out there to protect my family, I swung a bat at this individual, not to hurt him, but to get him to leave, as he came from another state, knowingly coming here to incite a riot for me and my family.
Riot at your house.
He gathered up like about 8 of our other neighbors and came there with a sign and actually was on our property at several points in time with our neighbors and kept on, doing stuff that you would normally do at a riot, like having a sign up, doing this, doing that. He was not there to protest. He was indeed inciting a riot. And when
the major came out of state and gathered up your neighbors?
Yes, ma'am. And I don't know why he did it, but
how
ended
did the
up.
neighbors join forces with this total stranger?
He went around before coming down here, and he basically told them all a lie. And he basically gathered them all up, and they all came down here in one big group and began harassing my family, began harassing me, and at several points stepped foot onto our property. And my family told this man to leave. Like, they told him to leave, and he would not do it.
Did you call the officers at that time?
Yes, my mom was on the phone frantically with you guys trying to get a hold of somebody to get this man to leave, and he still refused to leave. So I went out there because I do know the laws about how, the stand your ground law and the castle law. I'm very well versed in that. So I went out there with a bat, and I gave him a very fair warning, like, dude, you need to leave. He would not do it. And when I went to swing at him because he was still on our property at the time, he caught the baseball bat with his bare hands and stepped onto public property. But yet, as a result of me protecting my family, I ended up getting arrested for simple assault when I was just protecting my family.
Okay. So did you show him all these messages and things?
Yes, and matter of fact, there were several times where beforehand, in other incidences, my family has tried to get the cops to look at the evidence because they always ask, do you have any evidence? Yes, I do. And every time I try to show them the evidence, they're always like, either we don't want to see it or we don't need to see it.
Have you?
When I have clear... I've literally, I'm in the middle of the case right now, and I'm actually going to be trying to get a different attorney because the one I have still has not spoken with us yet. Ever since I got her. I don't know. It's been over a week and a half, and he still has not contacted me or my family.
So you don't have an attorney then?
I do, but I am going to be trying to get a new one because, like I said, the one that I have now has not seen us at all since I met him in jail that night. And there's, if you can even look online if you'd like. If you look up the name, well, I was going to say, if somebody, if one of your officers wants to look online at the name William Glorial, there's literally...
Sir, hold on. We're not going to do all that, but hold on just a second.
Oh, you're fine.
And when were you arrested?
On the 25th or the 26th, one of those two. I can't remember which. I believe it was the 25th. I believe. But there is also actual footage online of some of your guys' officers openly mocking me and my family as they're walking away from the house.
What is your name?
Chance.
Okay, Chance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and notify someone for you. And perhaps they'll be able to get to you here next week, okay?
All right, thank you, ma'am. Because like I said, there is also footage online of some of your guys' officers that have been out here literally openly mocking me and my family.
Okay.
There was an incident a couple of years ago where...
Okay, we're just going to focus on what's going on now. How about I send somebody out to talk to you now?
Okay, that works.
Okay.
So Cyrax calls the police department, tells them, hey, like, you know, you guys arrested me last week and this is bullshit, so he needs to complain. He has no one else to vent to, so, like, you know, 911's, I guess, always an easy option. This lady on the phone is clearly, like, she's over it already. She's trying her best to help him, but she knows that he's not all there. She's telling him, you know, let's just focus on what we're talking about now, because Cyrax is trying to talk about, like, 10 different things. At one point, he asks her to get all the boys in the department and all that. Maybe if anyone can go look up the name William Glory Hole. I think Chance sees it as, you know, these cops put me in this position. They're the ones who arrested me, and I did nothing wrong. So I'm just going to call them and call them and call them until I get the answer I want. And when the cops tell him, you know, go offline, do this, do that, that's not the answer he wants. So, like I said, he's just waiting for them to just drop everything because he thinks that's what's about to happen. But like we just heard on the call, right? The lady said she'd send someone out there to talk to Chance. Well, she did. And what you're about to see now is that cop showing up and Chance just being one of the biggest assholes he can possibly be, constantly telling the cop to do his fucking job. It's a pretty hard watch, honestly. Every time I tried watching this one, I got about a minute in and I was just like, oh my god, he's not really doing this, is he? But like, he is. He called the cops to his house just to bitch at him.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Chance, how's it going, man?
Doing good. I don't know if you guys know now, but there's some stuff going on.
I do know. Oh, this morning?
No, like about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
This guy, he came from another state, and But this guy incited a riot by riling up half our neighborhood, coming down here onto our property, and I was protecting our property, and yet I was the one to get arrested. And I want to know why the hell your guys' officers aren't doing your jobs and having that guy get out of here. I should not have been arrested. He should have been...
Well, Chance, okay, we can talk about this if you want, okay?
Yeah.
Where were you arrested?
I was on our property when I...
Tell me, show me.
I was right there in the driveway, right there.
In the driveway?
Yeah, he had came down here with our neighbors. There was about 8 of them. They showed up on our property and began harassing me and my family and put us in immediate danger. And when
How did he put you in immediate danger?
They were getting in our faces, and you can even ask when I said that.
So they came into your house?
No, they came onto our property. We were all outside at the time. They were getting in our faces and doing all kinds of stuff. And when we asked them to leave, they would not leave.
Were they in the grass or on the sidewalk?
Yeah, they were in the grass. The one guy that I swung at, he was initially in the grass on our...
Initially?
Yeah.
But not when you swung at him?
Yeah, no, when I swung at him, he caught the bat with his hand, and that's when he stepped on the public property.
Cyrax is amazing at trying and failing to spin things on people. You hear how the cop there said, you know, oh, he was initially in the grass, but not when you swung on him. And Chance, oh yeah, when I swung on him, he caught it. And like he tried, let's take it to another topic real quick, because I don't want to talk about where we were when I swung at him. He will say, though, that he was on his lawn and the guy eventually backed up when Cyrax swung, but pretty sure they were already out near the street on the sidewalk when that happened. But like, you know, fuck the video evidence. The cops weren't there. Cyrax was there. He knows what happens. These cops need to just lay down the law on the other guy and let the poor goblin go.
He initially was on our property when I swung.
Well, listen. I wasn't here. I didn't arrest you. Okay, we've talked. This is probably the 4th or 5th time we've talked. Do you remember me at all?
Yeah, but what I want to know
is... so this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? Even if you're outside in your own yard, having your own time, okay? If somebody comes over, the best and safest thing to do is to go inside and call the police.
And we did that. We tried calling you guys.
Okay, but listen. Apparently you didn't if you came outside with a bat.
Oh yeah, we did. We tried calling you guys several times.
Okay.
We called y'all several times.
Okay, I wasn't here, okay? But you decided to go outside with a bat and swing it at somebody. Is that right?
Actually, it is, because I have a right to protect my property and my family.
He's so quick to just give away these admissions of guilt. Actually, yeah, I did, because it's just my right to do that. Now, I get that Cyrax wanted to protect his family, and in his own mind, he's in the right, and even in Sally and Ed's mind, he's in the right. But, look at it. This protester was there. The neighbors joined in. For fuck's sake, the neighbor picked up the sign. If this dude on screen is picking up a sign saying that you're a child predator on your front lawn, you gotta figure it the fuck out, Cyrax. We've all seen how Cyrax will never listen to what anybody says. He just simply sits there and waits for his turn to speak, but most times he's very impatient and just starts screaming over the person. Maybe not screaming, but he's definitely talking over the cops a lot in this video. You'll come to see it a lot. Try taking a shot every time Cyrax says, but what I want to know is, as the cops are trying to say something to him, you'll be trashed. But he's always done this. He listens to a few things the cops say just so he can go, oh, yeah, I know that already, but, so here's the thing. The trolls? Can we talk about them now? But it never goes the way he wants it to, because when the cops just turn it around, Cyrax is lost.
He showed up to incite a riot.
Okay.
On our property.
Well, that's for the courts. I'm just trying. I thought you wanted to talk through the possibility of why it happened. Okay,
well,
I can't tell you because I wasn't here.
Well,
but
what I want to know initially is why was it when that guy came?
Did you call today?
22. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I want to know is this: why is that when that guy came out of state to harass my family, why is it that I was the one that got arrested when I've had proof and I tried to show you guys multiple times that this guy had plans on coming down here, but yet every time I talk to...
Is this the guy who sent the pig head or whatever, the baby pig?
No, this guy had actually made threats on Discord to me and my family, and I tried to show y'all, hey, this guy's planning on doing this, but it's every time y'all say, oh, do you have any evidence? And when I go to show somebody, they're always like, oh, we don't need to see it, or we don't want to see it.
I don't know.
I never understand what Cyrax means by evidence. What I assume he has is just a bunch of miscellaneous text messages from different, fake numbers. Maybe something in writing here or there if someone sent a letter to his house. If you did that, you're fucking stupid. There's also, the people who show up from Craigslist. But at that point, it's what are the cops going to do? Go try to take down Craigslist, get them to give up the names? They're not giving that much of a shit. Maybe they should, but when you're out here this much for a family that gets into this shit as often as they do, you probably really start to lose any type of will to help them out. And these cops just sound drained when they talk to Cyrax, because he just spews the same bullshit over and over and expects a different outcome.
But, if the threats are specific, okay, you can report that online. You can go online and make a report. We don't know who the Discord handle.
The guy's actually, I found this out after I got arrested. The actual guy's name is.
Okay.
He's not from around here.
I understand that.
But what I want to know is why are you guys not doing your jobs and going after these people? Your guys' job is to serve and protect.
Hey,
but yet
Chase.
You guys aren't doing
Chase,
anything.
have I ever done anything to you? Have I ever done anything to you, Chase? Have I ever not arrested somebody for you? Have I ever not taken a report for you?
Yeah, what I want to know is
listen
why
to me.
are you guys not
Listen
looking
to
into
me.
these people?
Okay, every situation's different. Maybe you don't have the proper information when you
Oh,
call.
we do. We got all the proper information.
Just because you say that this is Joe Smith on Discord doesn't mean that we can send out an arrest warrant or arrest somebody just because that's what you say.
How hard is it to call another district, call another state? 'Cause I know you guys are connected. I know y'all.
We're not as connected as you think.
Actually, you guys are. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
All you guys
I know you're not stupid, but
all
we
you
are.
got, no, listen. All you guys gotta do.
Okay.
Is
Do you need
call
anything
up
from me, man? Because if you want to sit here and argue, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with you.
I'm not gonna sit here and be.
Did you call for a specific reason?
Yeah, because I want to know why the hell this dude didn't get dealt with.
I wasn't here, Chase. How am I supposed to know that? You're sitting here yelling at me, who you called for help, and I showed up to help.
But what I want to know is how many times does my family have to call about this?
Maybe until you start taking advice.
Maybe you guys need to start doing your freaking job.
Okay.
My family has called over 113 times for you guys.
I know.
And you guys have done nothing to help. You guys have done nothing to help us. After we've called over 113 times for help, you guys have done nothing but let this continue. And this is the point that it fucking got to. And that's not right.
All right, man. See you later.
What a little prick. I mean, this is so much like pent up rage he probably has at the police. He's throwing everything at this officer, trying to tell them how to do their jobs by saying, well, why can't you just call up the other police stations? And when the cop tells him we're not as connected as you think, oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Like, Cyrax knows. Like, what the fuck do you know, cop? Like, you, what? You go to the station every day, you do your job? Yeah, well, Cyrax does his research, all right? So maybe you should research before you're going to come up here and step to Chase. Yeah, that's another thing. Chase, right? So if you're seeing anyone call Cyrax Chase anywhere, I think you can see why. This cop's saying, like, come on, Chase, I've helped you out. Cyrax doesn't even bother to correct him. The cop tells him to take some advice. Maybe this will all change if you take some advice to get off the internet and stop doing all this. But Cyrax doesn't want to hear it. He just wants to tell the cop to do his fucking job. And by do his job, what Cyrax means is protect and serve. And what does protect and serve mean? It means do anything by any means necessary. Take down these trolls. All these people in the most wanted list, forget about them. Screw it. Number 1, Marty. 2, Glory Hole. 3, CVG. Like, down the list. And the way Cyrax thinks he's going to go about this is by basically whipping the cops into shape, by telling them what's what, and just not listening to anything they say, and just demanding more and more. He thinks this random arbitrary evidence that he has, that's just a bunch of streams of him freaking out, and a bunch of numbers that are calling him that don't even lead back to anything. He thinks it's what's going to happen, it's what's going to be that finally ends this 7-year drought of like nothing good in his life, and all the trolling can end, but it's just gonna get worse because now you have the police against you when you talk to them like this. So good job, Cyrax. You're really gonna get what you want now. And that wasn't even the end of it, because Cyrax had another police visit when there was rumors going around that Sally had called the cops about Cyrax beating her. Well, this ended up just being a hoax, but the cops went out there anyway. And the way Chance talks to them in this one, I don't know, I'll talk about it afterwards, but this one cracks me up because he really thinks, like you can tell by the end of this next clip, he really thinks he's just one of the boys, like one of the bros.
Hey, what's going on?
Did you make a comment about punching your grandma online?
No.
No.
I have not laid a hand on her.
No,
You okay, Grandma?
I'm fine.
Alright.
Yeah, there's been people.
They're trying to get him in more trouble.
Well, what's he doing?
Nothing.
So there's no trouble from us?
No, I
No,
have.
not.
Okay.
What it is I have a court date on the 24th, and they're trying to get me in even more trouble than what I'm already in.
Well, what's that for?
It's for simple assault. Somebody trespassed on our property, and when I swung the bat at him, he stepped on public property, which he was able to get me arrested for.
Okay.
Because he was actually on
I mean, I've got threats when he goes to jail that it's going to be worse for me. So,
Yeah.
Maybe you should stay offline for a while.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, just kind of hang out.
Yeah, that's actually.
I don't even have internet. He's got something. It's his off of the VPN.
Yep, no worries. Alright, everyone's good then?
Yeah.
Everyone's
All right.
fine.
Yeah.
right.
Like, these people have actually made false reports about this stuff too.
Yeah, well, you did have to make the report through us. So
Yeah, I know. That's why we're like, dude, you guys are photoshopping it. Like, we already know.
Yeah, we're not doing no report right now.
Yeah.
Alright, man. See ya.
I don't know, just the way he talks to them at the end, like, come on, guys, we already all know this is photoshopped, right, guys? Like, he's just, like, he's investigating this with the cops. They're all on the same team, when the cops really probably just want him out of this town. In that clip, like I brought up, someone had called and said Sally was beat by Cyrax, and Sally, of course, jumps and springs into action to let the cops know that she's just fine. She's, Cyrax, it's not 2012 anymore, cops. Cyrax isn't beating her up. You can notice a bed in their living room. I didn't know that Sally and Ed slept in the living room on a bed. That's, I guess that's the master bedroom in their house. It's pretty out there way of doing it, but the Wilkinses are some out there people. But that's really it for the body cam stuff. Again, I want to say shout out to William Gloryhole for getting that. Go show the dude some love. And now we kind of jump into Cyrax's own videos, because as we brought up, he did not stay off the internet. He stayed on the shit, sulking, pretty upset for his upcoming court date. You know, he knew he was in for some trouble. And we're going to look at one video before the court date and one afterwards. And he kind of remains the same in both of them, but it's always funny to see Cyrax think he's entirely in the right, even in a situation where he's pretty much fucked either way. Before we get to that, though, I saw King Cobra streaming the other night, and I put it up as a YouTube short, but King Cobra just out of nowhere starts talking about Cyrax, and it made for some pretty funny shit.
I trolled the fuck out of Cyrax. That was glorious. I fucking hate that sick fuck. My buddy Van Wayward was just like, you want to help me troll this pedophile piece of shit? And I'm like, yes. Cyrax's grandmother doesn't want to take away his fucking internet because she doesn't want to deal with Cyrax beating her ass. Fuck him. Fuck that. Cyrax gets so pissed off when no one takes him seriously. I'm like, bro, that's only going to encourage. I fucking hate Cyrax. That's the only thing that's just going to make it worse, dude. Egging someone on because they have mental disabilities. I mean, Cyrax is a piece of shit, so it's kind of funny when you do it to him, but then there's other people who aren't so bad.
And you see that right there. That's what's up. Cobra giving some advice to Cyrax to kind of help him out. Just a shame Cyrax couldn't be more like this stunning young man right here. You know, smelling great, not being a sicko. Cyrax, of course, went the other route. Smells terrible, is a sicko. It's just not good times for Cyrax. In the next video we're going to watch, Cyrax goes off about bullying and everything. He's been having a lot of trouble as of late, well, as of the past 7 years, but something that I'm not really talking about much in this video is something pretty significant that happened in the past week, and I'm going to have it linked down in the description below. It's on a channel called Death by Design. This guy got an interview with Cyrax's, like, his half-sister, or I don't really know how this works, maybe his aunt. It's Sally's daughter, so yeah, actually I answered my own question. It would be his aunt, and she just rips into Cyrax. You know, talks about how much she hates him, divulges a lot of information about him. It's a very interesting watch. It deserves a video all to its own, but you may hear Cyrax make some references to it here and there. I'm not entirely sure, though, if the clips we're going to watch do make reference to it, but I thought it was important enough to mention. It's fascinating, trust me. Just because I'm not covering it here doesn't mean you shouldn't go watch it. It's wild, all the things that she talks about. There's a part in there where they get to talking about how Cyrax didn't get kicked out of high school because he was too old, even though he was like in his 20s when he was in high school. But it was because Cyrax, he was trying to impress them kids, and he did like a backflip off of some type of thing, and he fell and he broke his arm, and Cyrax ended up telling the school that, you know, these kids pushed me off. And then they had to get the cops involved. It became a big criminal investigation. And then when they found out that Cyrax was lying, then he got kicked out of school. That's just one of like the few things they go into. I'm telling you gotta check that out. But I just wanted to stick to Cyrax and the stuff involving him and what he did. And he's got to get online again. He's got to call out the trolls, just like we're about to see here.
And the real truth is that Marty, Stevie G, and all y'all motherfuckers out here like William Gloryhole, y'all are the reason that I'm in this mess in the first place, dude. Every last one of y'all is the reason that I'm in this fucking mess. Cause you know, 5-6 years ago, I was doing good for myself. Minding my own business, doing my own thing, working on my music, working on my gameplay channels. And then Marty, what happened? You got mad because I turned you down, so what'd you do? You turned around and tried to make me out to be a goddamn fucking pedophile. For what? For what, dude?
It's amazing that after all these years, he still thinks that the reason all this is happening is because Marty wanted to get in his pants and Chance declined. Now, the pedo stuff, Cyrax is obviously just using that as an excuse because he knows he did that. But the fact that he really believes that Marty wants to wants to be his man still after everything they've been through. But you know what? Cyrax, he's a lonely guy. Maybe he is still looking for love. Who knows? But he's just trying to pin the blame on everything else, as you'll come to see soon. It's everyone's fault but his. The arrest, that's a glory hole or CVG's fault. This, that, and the third is Marty's fault. Everything in his life is someone else's fault. He can't take accountability for a single thing.
Y'all don't give a fuck about nobody but your damn selves. You don't give a fuck who gets hurt. You don't give a fuck whether I get shot at or not. Y'all don't give a fuck whether I get hurt or not.
Unbelievable. He still thinks the ice bullet is a thing, too. Cyrax, if you don't even know about this, Cyrax thought that someone shot through his window a few months back. He said that the bullet went in his mattress, yet he's been too lazy still to this day to go dig out that bullet. It was probably a mousetrap in the corner of his room, but Cyrax still maintains that there was an assassination attempt made on his life, and that he's just that important for these type of things to happen. But it's just wild to think that all this nonsensical bullshit that happens around Cyrax, it's clearly not true. He believes fully.
Y'all don't give a fuck about anything. I mean, y'all sit there and say that you give a fuck about my family. No, you don't. If you gave a fuck about my moms and my family like y'all say y'all do, y'all motherfucking trolls wouldn't be out here doing the shit y'all stupid asses do. I mean, y'all sit there like William Glory Hole and fabricate shit and start shit for no reason.
For him to call out Glory Hole of all people for fabricating stuff on him, it's ridiculous considering the guy mostly puts up videos of Cyrax's body cam footage of the police at his house. But even in Cyrax's mind, that's fabricated. Everything this guy says, it's somehow faked or photoshopped. The Wilkinses have become very privy to this recently, knowing that every police visit's recorded. We brought it up last week that the Wilkinses will not now talk to police if they know that they have the body cams on, and it's just ridiculous.
Y'all sitting there saying that you don't want me on the internet, but yet you want me on here doing shit for you guys. Which is it? Do you not want me on the internet, or do you want me on here helping y'all make money? If y'all want to help y'all make money, stop fucking doing shit to fuck my life up. If y'all want to do business with me, reach out and be like, yo, dude, I've seen what you got, I like what you do. Let's work on a partnership.
What he brought up there in the beginning, there really is a split of people. Some people who want Chance in jail, some people who still want him on the internet. Depends where you fall. You can fall on either side. If you think he'd be better off here on the internet still getting messed with by trolls and that occupying his time, I can understand that point of view. But also, if you just want to see him locked away, throw away the key, I understand that completely too. So who knows? I think it's up to the law to decide. But then to show how truly out of it he is, he brings up the fact that, hey, if you guys want to make content, let's do a partnership. Hit me up, be like, I enjoy what you do, yada, yada, yada. Knowing that the people he's talking to are people who would never want to have a partnership with him or respect anything that he does. I think that he thinks that most of his main trolls will be like, man, Cyrax, we'll stop trolling you if you just do if you do a cover of a Disturbed song for us, dude. We just love your music so much. But no, he's still in this mindset where he thinks he's some type of celebrity, where he's he's of value to people, where they could work and he could get a record deal again, some stuff like that. It's so far gone for you, Cyrax. It's never gonna happen.
But instead, what do y'all do? Sit there, attack me, harass me, steal shit from my property, steal shit from my family, harass my family, get me arrested for shit that I shouldn't have even been fucking arrested for in the first goddamn place. Because if you ask me, and you can ask anybody else outside of y'all's little fucking dumbass community. Ask anybody else. That motherfucker, Joe myself, had no business being here. That man premeditated coming here to fuck with my family. Okay? He had no reason to be here. At all. The same with all y'all other motherfuckers that sit there and do all this shit. Y'all need to stop. Like, for real, man. Y'all need to shut the fuck up and you need to stop the crap. My family's tired of it. I'm tired of it. And everybody in the real world is fucking sick of y'all motherfuckers coming after me. Y'all are the reason why I ain't making money. Straight up.
The first thing that I noticed in that one is how Cyrax talks about the protester and how he had no right being here, even though it's his right to protest, even if it is ridiculous. But Cyrax says that, and then Cyrax tells him that y'all need to stop, like for real. Like it's, and he doesn't understand this. I know we're beating a dead horse here, but let's be honest. Cyrax, he can't realize yet. Just a month ago, a dude showed up, incited a quote-unquote riot on your street by riling up the neighbors who agreed with what he was saying, having the words Chance Wilkins is a predator on his sign. They were yelling, calling you a pervert. It was a wild situation, Cyrax. It's a situation that you found yourself in because of your internet history. Just a few months before that, a dude came to your town, you ran over there to fight him, and you got pummeled. Like, this stuff isn't going to stop because you constantly keep, you feed into this shit. It's only going to make people want to go mess with you more. Cyrax is trying to say anything he can to make this stop, but he's not willing to do anything. And the one thing that he could do to really try to make this stop is getting off the internet. And I know I've heard the arguments before of people saying that it wouldn't stop. People would just keep bugging him to try to get him back on the internet. And that's very true. But the thing is, Cyrax has only ever taken like a day or two break from the internet. And of course, on the first day or two, people are still going to be going hard trying to mess with you. But he thinks that's enough. He tells the cops, oh yeah, I've been staying off the internet, because he thinks that eventually, he sits there and goes, you know what, guys, I'm leaving the internet, I'm gone for good. He's sitting on his bed, just like playing with a fucking yo-yo or something. 4 hours have gone by and Cyrax thinks, well, now I should be able to get back on and start my music career. He gets back on, makes a new account, immediately calls out Marty or someone in the process, but then says that he's going to go get to work on his new music and his artwork, and he expects after that, why is everyone still messing with me? I left. And he can't, if he could do it for a week, I'd be shocked. But Cyrax, if he could really take a 6-month break off the internet, I bet you a lot of the people who mess with him would just completely forget about him. But who knows? He'll never do it anyway. There's another longer Cyrax video we're going to look at that's also pretty funny, but there's a few other things I wanted to bring up here. Firstly, is that Cyrax and his family put up a warning sign on their house, letting the masses know that nothing was free or for sale at their address. And, well, do you guys want to take a wild guess at how long this sign stayed up? Not very long, because just the other day, CVG had a live stream up auctioning off this very sign you see on screen now. Nothing the Wilkinses put outside will stay there for long. Either Craigslist is going to get it or the trolls are going to get it. It's fucked. It's a fucked up situation going on over there, man. So then we finally got to court day, and as we previously mentioned, not much happened on that day, although we did find out that we're most likely going to trial on the 22nd. That's if it doesn't get dismissed on the 14th. Who knows? There's still time and some stuff could happen. But what you're seeing on screen now is Cyrax and Sally heading into the courtroom. So sadly, no one knows what happened in the courtroom, but they weren't in there for very long. However, someone did post that they were there and what happened that day. More specifically, when Cyrax and Sally were talking with Cyrax's public defender. So let's go ahead and read that. The guy says, I was there. I'm only now just getting home, but I have the update you're all looking for, or at least some of it. I got to Akron Municipal, went through the metal detector and took the elevator to the 8th floor. Upon the elevator doors opening, I was face to face with Cyrax himself. I always thought he would look slightly different, that the terrible quality of his camera gave some sort of effect, but I was mistaken. What you have seen is exactly what you get. It's a horrifying sight to behold, honestly. Imagine the elevator doors open wherever you at and you're just greeted by Cyrax. Like, fuck that. Especially if you're tripping, oh my god. Despite arriving before 10:45, I missed the proceedings. It seems like they had started early. We're in and out, and we're waiting in the hallway afterwards. I had assumed they were waiting to go in at the time. I did, however, eavesdrop on a conversation between him, Sally, and assuming his public defender in the hallway before leaving. I could only hear some, as most was muttered, but here are the key points I recall. PD pulled out a paper, pointed to it and said something about you need to have everything by this date. Did not yet say date. Otherwise, lower tone, I think this will go to trial. Said they were unaware of any sort of deal on the table and asked Chance and maybe Sally to sign said paper. Now that's interesting because some people had speculated before that there would be some type of plea deal, but no, apparently they are just going to take this straight to trial. They're not offering Cyrax anything, which that's not looking good in his favor, but we'll have to come to see when his day in court really comes again. Sally showed PD something on her phone, to which he replied something like, well, that doesn't pertain to this case, and this isn't the state of Virginia. Sally said, well, just thought you should know. Obviously, I could definitely see Sally doing something like that. She always tries to tell the cops, look, there's death threats on my phone. And she probably told them this, if I'm just assuming, well, there's this number here from Virginia that said that they sent me a death threat. And then the public defender says exactly what he says there. It doesn't pertain to the case, yada, yada, yada. And when she says, well, I just thought you should know, that she's like, she has to get the last word in. He then says that the PD then recommended that Chance stay off the internet for at least a year, to which, of course, Chance replied something about protecting his family, and now they're showing up at my house. Now, to be fair, that's exactly how one would assume Chance would respond to this information. He doesn't want to take any accountability, and he doesn't want to get off the internet, so it's time to tell them about all the stuff he's been telling them over and over and over again. That's why in this video, anytime a cop or his public defender, doesn't matter who it is, anytime they give him some advice, he seemingly just responds, yeah, but what I want to know is, because it's what Chance wants to know. It's all about Cyrax. It doesn't matter any advice these guys give him, anything they lay down in front of him. All that matters is that Cyrax gets what he wants, and that's it. And that's why he's back on the internet even after hearing this. PD says it's all brought on by him and by his online activities, saying they've seen his videos but was unable to make out what was said was seen, i.e., we've seen videos of you brought down to a whisper said 2 to 3 times, said Chance should stay off the internet entirely. PD said Chance will reappear on the 14th at, I believe, 10:30, then something to do with a jury, and then the 22nd for a trial. So yeah, Chance has got a lot on his plate over the next month. He's probably going to be freaking out because that's what he's been claiming has been going on ever since the initial assault and he found out he was going to court and everything. Although, to be fair, he could just, go off into delusion land like he usually does and just think he's going to get out of this scot-free, which, honestly, there's still a good chance he does, at least as scot-free as possible, Probation would be, would probably be the scot-freest he could get. PD said they were good to go, and the Wilkinses took the elevator down and sat out front, which I'm sure by now you've already seen. Yeah, that's the video where they're sitting out front waiting for Ed, and the dude recording keeps calling Cyrax scabby head and all this stuff, just trying his hardest to be funny, didn't really hit. So, just kind of glossed over that, kind of skipped that video, but let's move on and keep reading. After chronicling the series of events, the guy goes on to say, I'm probably forgetting a few details, but that's the meat and potatoes of it. I missed the real action in the courtroom, unfortunately, but it seems as though the city of Akron isn't backing down. Assuming there isn't some sort of plea deal made, or like PD said at the beginning, wanted everything together by 8/14 so they could be attempting to move for dismissal, it looks like Cyrax will have his day in court. Chance's own public defender told him to stay off the internet. The city of Akron is moving forward with the case, and Chance will reappear in court 8/14 at 10:30 a.m. then, assuming no plea deal nor dismissal. 8/22 for trial by jury. Just remembered, after the PD told Chance to stay off the internet, Chance said, I can show you 400 people right now These people bully and harass, mutter. PD replied, my recommendation is to stay off the internet, and I'm sure those 400 people would tell you the same if they could. You are bleeding bait, and they are piranhas. Do you get that analogy? Chance slowly nodded, did not respond above a mutter to himself. So he definitely didn't understand any of that, as you'll come to see very soon. Cyrax, he believed that he's in the right constantly, even though his public defender here is trying to tell him, look, even his public defender is giving him the same advice everyone else has, just stay off the internet. And when you're about to see what Cyrax is about to do, you know he's just, when he nodded his head, in his head all he was thinking was, you sack of shit. Like, here, you just don't get it. Here's what you don't understand, public defender. Like, they've been doing this for 7 years. And that's what he wanted to say. He wanted this guy to look at it and just go like, my God, like, the case has been cracked. Like, this dude's totally innocent. But it didn't happen the way Cyrax wanted. So how do you think he responded? Well, of course he responded by getting right the fuck back on the internet and just calling out his lawyer and basically everyone else under the sun surrounding this whole situation. It's going to be a doozy, because this is a pretty long Cyrax video, but some of the claims he makes in this one are just so out there, claiming that, like, I don't even want to spoil it for you, because in most Cyrax videos he's chirping about the same stuff, but this one's a little different because he's so far entrenched in his beliefs that are such bullshit, there's no getting him out of it.
I'm making this video to reach out for help. I am currently being set up by a bunch of internet trolls and the Akron Police Department. I need outside help because my public defender is not a good defender at all. I have video evidence that he is refusing to look at. Long story short, what happened, about 3.5 weeks ago, an internet troll by the name of Aware of Myself came to my house, incited a riot on my property. He gathered up 8 of my neighbors from down the street, brought them here, and incited a riot on our property. My family told him to leave several times. He would not leave. But he would not leave at all. So I went out there with a baseball bat and I gave him a fair warning to leave our property or I would swing that bat at him. Because here in Ohio we have what's called castle laws and stand your ground laws. And when he would not leave our property, I was exercising those rights. Because he was putting our family in danger at that point in time. He had our neighbors getting in our faces. He was getting in our faces. He was getting in my face. This man literally walked up to our door, knocked on our door, and trespassed onto our property. The cops were called frantically to try to get him away from our property. He would not leave. When I swung the baseball bat at this man to get him off our property, he caught the baseball bat with his hand and stepped onto public property. When the police arrived, they questioned him. They said something to him. Like, asked him what was going on. This man only gave his name, his first and last name, but that's it. This man did not give them any more info. He only gave his first and last name.
His first and last name, may I add, that you just doxed, that I had to censor out twice in this video now. It's really weird, Cyrax, that you keep doxing the guy that's suing you. I thought you weren't supposed to keep in contact with this dude. And yet here you are, just doxing him left and right on YouTube. Cyrax makes so many wild claims right there, claiming that his public defender is a shitty defender because he's not looking at all the evidence, saying that the cops are all corrupt, which I don't they're obviously not, but after seeing some of the videos we've watched like last week and all, I definitely feel like some of the cops know more than they let on when it comes to the Cyrax troll shit. But he's just saying shit. He's trying to make everyone else sound like the villain. Like, look, his public defender, the one person whose like job it is to defend him. Nope, gotta go. The cops protect and serve. What are they protecting? Not me. Gotta go. This is Cyrax's reach for help, you know? When the public defender, when the police won't help him, who does he have left to turn to? Well, the internet, of course, the same internet that everyone's telling him to stay off of and his life would be better.
This man showed up to my house with his whole face covered, like he was wearing like, almost like what you would call like, almost like a Taliban mask or a ninja mask of some sort.
A Taliban or ninja mask.
This man, prior to him showing up, made threats about coming here to my family and doing harm to me. This is the same man that a few months prior shot a bullet through my window and tried to kill me while I was on a live stream.
Oh, yeah, that's an important detail to remember. The guy who protested out front of Cyrax's house is the same dude who's taking responsibility for putting the bullet through Cyrax's window. You know, the bullet that never even went through his window, but that's all Cyrax had to hear. This dude said he did it. Well, God damn it, he did it.
The police came out here next day and did not do anything about it after I was shot at. They refused to take the bullet out, and they refused to do anything about it. A couple months later, I was assaulted by a man by the name of Music Biz Marty on YouTube. And they still did nothing about it. My nose was busted from here down to where it wasn't broken, but like it was bloodied up. I had a large cut right here, and my nose was just gushing blood for hours. They still did nothing. And they did the same thing with this man. After this man harassed my family, I tried to show the cops, I tried to show the police that this man was making evidence, he had evidence that, well, not him, but I had evidence that he was planning on showing up here to do harm to me and my family. They arrested me and hauled me off to jail and refused to see the evidence that I had. They refused to see the evidence that I had. I got arrested and charged with simple assault, and as a result, I had to go to court yesterday, and I found out that if convicted, I could be facing up to 180 days in jail because of this man. The police here are very corrupt. They really are. And I need anyone's help that can please step up and help me put a stop to this corruption as I am being set up. The police here labeled me as a 43. They labeled my mom as a 43, which here means mentally disturbed. The cops here were very quick to arrest me. And this has been going on for almost 5+ years. This is not a joke. This is not a game. This is not me pulling some sort of prank because I supposedly hate cops. No. This is very real. The cops here are corrupt. I have been bullied and cyberbullied for over the last 5.5 years. Every time we call the police to ask for help, they don't do anything. They give us the runaround. They give me and my family the runaround of, oh, there's nothing we can do. Stay off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Oh, change your phone numbers. Do this, do that. But none of that does any good.
It doesn't do you any good because you've never actually tried it. I mean, look at the situation you're in right now. You have no internet in your house. Your landlord has forced you to shut off the internet or else you will be evicted. And somehow, some way, Cyrax still finds a way to get on there through, as Sally puts it, a VPN, which isn't a VPN, it's a hotspot on his phone. And they know this. They know that he's doing it. In the previous body cam footage we watched earlier in the video, Sally even brought this up to the cops. They know this is going on, but like she's like, oh, well, it's happening. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, take his fucking phone. Like, he doesn't leave the house. He's not going to get lost. like, what does he need a fucking phone for? He never goes anywhere. You know, if he was out at work or something and he needed to call you to pick him up, because he clearly can't drive either, that would be understandable. He need a phone for that. What purpose does Cyrax have for a cell phone? There's none. There's not a single thing he absolutely needs it for. There's not a person he needs to be in touch with other than the 2 people in his house, because other than that, everyone else on the internet are people who fucking hate him. Sally, I don't understand how this hasn't hit her yet. There's no reason for this man to still have a phone, and yet just she's given up. Like, oh, well, he has it, he's doing it, and even though it's further prolonging all these issues, well, we're gonna have to get the trolls to stop first, because Cyrax isn't gonna do it.
These people that have been bullying me and my family and harassing us have stolen stuff from our property. These people have done things such as, like I said, stealing stuff from our property. They tore down our back fencing, which the police tried to blame me for. They tried to say that I'm the one that's setting all this up. And if you guys would like to look for yourselves, if you guys go to William Gloryhole's YouTube channel and look at the body camera footage, there is irrefutable evidence showing that the police have blatantly made fun of me. The police have blamed me for all this stuff going on.
Okay, I'll give him that one, because the police do seemingly think that it's Chance calling all these people over here to steal things. I don't think they understand what they're talking about when Cyrax and them go off about Craigslist and all. But from the video last week and what we heard the cops say, yeah, they think Chance is just inviting random people over to steal Sally's car as a game or something.
They have basically refused us any form of help at all. They basically refused to stop helping us. And I need anyone's help out there that can please help me put a stop to this corruption. Because I spoke with a very good friend of mine who's a former police officer who said the same thing. That almost over 100 people that have reached out to me and supporters of mine and fans of my work have said to me that I did not deserve to get arrested. That man came here and harassed my family. When me and my family went down to court today for the pretrial, my public defender blatantly refused to look at the video evidence and the photo evidence of this man on live stream waving around a semi-automatic rifle, gloating about how he was proud of what he did, how if he couldn't get me on some fake pedophile shit, he was going to get me for assault. And my public defender refused to look at the video footage that I put together over the last 3 weeks on a USB stick to hand to him. He blatantly told us that he's not going to look at any video evidence, but only paper evidence. And that he only wants to focus on the simple assault. He's not worrying about the trolling or the bullying or what started all of this.
I can't confirm or deny the thing of the protester having a strap in his hand, like he's threatening Cyrax. Honestly, if the dude's threatening to be the window shooter, it might make sense, but who knows? All I know is Cyrax is mad because the lawyer won't take any video evidence from the Wilkins family. Now, I don't know exactly why that is, if it's like a court protocol thing, but I'd also imagine it's probably because they're just shoving their phones in his face as he's trying to talk to them, being like, yo, look at this, see, this is this time where Marty made Cyrax dance for a little bit. Like, they're just probably trying to show the guy everything that the trolls have ever done to Cyrax and say, see, it's not his fault, but they're finding out firsthand that it doesn't work like that, and it's just not computing with Cyrax. Like Cyrax.exe is not computing, ladies and gentlemen. It's never lost on me, though, how Cyrax can sit here and think he's making some, like, grandiose proclamation that everything's gonna go great once the video's done, and it's never, it's always the same outcome every time, and he still does this and expects something new to happen. It's insanity, yes, but at the end of the day, it's just Cyrax.
That's why I need help from outside states. I need somebody out there who knows a lawyer who is willing to help me and my family, because me and my family, we don't have money. We don't have money like that. We can't afford a lawyer. But my family wants a private attorney that is willing to work with us, that is not fake, that will not screw us over, that is not a fake troll, who is willing to work with us to not only put a stop to this case entirely, but to also put a stop to this corruption and what these police are doing.
Cyrax has clearly never heard of the term beggars can't be choosers. Cyrax is sitting here saying that his family can't afford a good lawyer, but he needs a good lawyer because his old lawyer is trash and is a fake troll. At least that's what he's implying. He thinks that some guy is just going to swoop in and go, Cyrax, I got you. Best lawyer in all of Akron here. Don't worry about it. You don't got to pay me a dime, you know. Us lawyers do this for the love of the game. None of us do this for the cash at all, Cyrax, so we got you. He's fucked. He's utterly fucked. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the point we're at right now. Cyrax is shit-talking the only person who can possibly remotely save him from, like, the fate he doesn't want to have here. He's putting his public defender in his place because Cyrax knows best. He thinks that the emotions that him and his family feel about the trolls, that outweighs the law. And until the courts understand that, well, they're going to be hearing from the Cyrax.
I only have 3.5 weeks until my next court date. I need help. My family needs help. This is not a joke. This is not me saying, oh, look at me, play pity party. No. The police here do not like me because a couple years ago, I called them out for not doing their job. Because they were making fun of me. They were harassing me. They didn't take what I was saying serious. So I'm asking anybody out there who knows somebody that might be a lawyer, or somebody that has a friend that's a lawyer, or someone of that nature, to please contact me some way. But you guys are more than welcome to contact me on Facebook. And if that person does not have Facebook, you guys can call my number at 234.
He is one of a kind. He really is. It's fucking astounding how his public defender will tell him to stay off the internet. The police will tell him to stay off the internet. Literally the day before, like, his public defender tells him, hey, don't go on the internet for at least a year. And what does he do the next day? He gets online. Fuck it. Give out your phone number. Maybe that'll help. Like, this is unbelievable. I don't get how he doesn't think. Like, obviously all the trolls already have his phone number. It's out there. So Cyrax at this point doesn't give a shit, but he wonders why shit gets doxxed. It's because he's so willing to divulge information like this. Like, if you were someone in Cyrax's shoes getting fucked with as much as he was, the last thing you should even think about doing is putting your phone number out there. Because even if people already have it, there's probably a few who don't, who you just gave it to, that are gonna fuck with you now so badly. He's basically just throwing a pity party and begging someone to come and save him from the fate that he so terribly does not want. He doesn't want to be in jail because then he can't be on the internet. Because that's all it's about. It's all about the fucking internet. I think that's what he fears most. He doesn't fear, not seeing his family or nothing. He fears not being able to go on the internet because that's all that matters to him, If he goes into jail, how is he going to keep doing his music career? These are the things that Cyrax thinks about. He doesn't care about nobody but himself and his non-existent career, and it's really easy to see why people look at him and go, God damn, it's a very sad reality that Cyrax lives. But we'll have to see what happens in the upcoming the trial that's going to be going on, if it happens. But if anything new happens, I got you covered here. It was a pretty interesting week, and I thought, you know what? We just came back with the Cyrax videos last week. We can do 2. We can do another because there was so much funny shit that I felt like I had to cover it. Again, I gotta say, shout out to William Gloryhole. Shout out to N-Word Boy, who helps a lot with all these videos, man. N-Word Boy really great job at archiving. And I also want to say shout out again to Death by Design, guy who had that interview with Cyrax's aunt. That's another fascinating interview. So all that'll be down in the description below. But that's what Cyrax did this week, man. Just sulked and just threw shade at the police and his public defender. He's a complete asshole. But he expects these people to just bend over backwards and do whatever he says. And when he comes to find out that's not how it works, well then fuck you, that is how it works. It's you better do what Cyrax says, or else you guys, just you're fired, or just get out of his face. He doesn't got time for you. So basically, what's going to happen with Cyrax next? Who knows? He'll probably just stay on the internet, keep complaining. We'll probably get a lot more body cam footage. There's a lot I left out of this too. Like, he showed up on Marty's panel for a minute or two the other night just to beg Marty not to show up and sue him too. So there's going to be a lot of funny stuff going on with Cyrax. And if you guys want to stay updated, just stay here on the channel, man. Got a lot of good content still coming out. Got a Daniel Larson video coming out in the next few days. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, just let me know in the comments. And if you didn't like it, let me know in the comments. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen with Cyrax. And really with that, that's all I got to say. And finally, I want to say Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time over on Kiwi Tape's channel. Me and Kiwi do a show called Too High for Stupid. Each week we cover lolcows, mostly guys like Cyrax. We see what Chris Chan's up to, your White Bowsers, your Daniel Larsons. And if you guys like this video, I'm sure you'll like the podcast. So yeah, come on over, come chill. I think I just called it a podcast. I don't know if it's a podcast. It's more of a show. I think the show's the better way to call it. But with that all being said, I want to give shouts out to Scaly Schisms, Churlish, Adrian Lara, Alright Stingy, Gypsy Pauls, Trademark, Commander Louie, Krabby, Justin S., SK Rux, Bullet BP, Fat Potato, Dan Noodles, Emery, Jason, Bass Trucker, Seal, Everborn, Sora, Jester, Griffin Shivo, Austin Vidal, Club Doom, Jay, Gryphon, Kostai, Zangetsu Black, Jay Sorensen, Brady Gravy, TJ, Grizzly Slug, Bob Skywalker, Just a Normal Bottle of Mustard, Ignatius Bartleby Arlington, Spaghetti Jelly, Radon, Dalton, Grizzly Bear, Pubsy, Sergeant Retro, Red Scum, Barfunkel Shag Nasty, Monarch, Nabarius, Canadian, Skylar, Crush Shadow, Meme Man Dan, Zuzu, Turg Burglar, Marshall Rogers, Nunya D Business, Unicorn is God, Protoshock, Jammer X, Blue Sapphire, Pastor Arthur Montgomery, Dirty J, Ian Corrado, Miserable Addict, Sword Brother, Nomags, Mr. Muda, Mrs. Starscream, Annabelle, Rexo, King of Town, Sludge Maniac, Capybara Man, Tiki's General Store, Trygive, Black Tiger, Kairos, Reb Zoomer, Chat Creeper, Old Man Bradley, the Ghostbusters fan, Metal Wolf, Squidwater, Pope Superkame Jizzler, The Real Earl Doobie, Nappy, Birder, the Black Dragon, Seinwave, Big Bird, Deus Valter, Zook Nation, Danny the Foot, Let a Bitch Live, Lord Fixa, Doc 706, Mime Boy, Pepsi Smuggler Drew, Hodeman 100 Norwalls, Tony Montana, Mr. McMunchy, Lord Street, King Bobby B, Cheems Bogar, Hillbilly Wizard, Trash Boat Official Chad, The Black Dragon Baron, Hunter Kolb, Dangler Wrangler, Wet Bread, The Killing Joke, Kieran, Steve Ulinski, Coffee Moose, Tommy, Legendary Duelist, MILF Slayer, Dysentery Gary, Sloth Thing, Kevin Finnerty, Black Dragon, Floki, Funky Weapon, Tanner Laswell, Ryan Ulinski, Auntie, Riker Blade, Dat Doge Boy, Draven, Whoopazing, Jesus H. Christ, Enigma, Runa, Heaven Strider, Victor DiHoro, and Burgo, Apple Smoked, Pseudonym, Dr. Depresso, and Tropic Star Kid, Cowboy Pete, Supreme Quacker Pie, Tay, Laguna, Chris Chan's Fanta Bottle Collection, The Dirty Bald Knobber, Lofi, Jackal, Black Meddler, River Ranger, Quickville Cop, Kiwi, Coggles, 5 Minute Crafts, Dubious Dinkster, Guestbow, Brittany, Nate Frog, Leanne Martin, Dude Dog, The Black Dragon, Your Mom, That Satellite Man, Beavis, Rezi, Rec Vincent, Spike, Big Birds, Farmer Dave, Guy on the Internet, Mecha Warrior, Night Scraper, Soul Reaper, Kangna, Xerxes, Wu-Tang, Izame, The Wise Satellite Man, Paul Hyman, I, Bong, Nate F, Neutral Wanderer, Derek Stanberry, Emtobat, John, Catman, Andrew Justice, Oingo Boingo, Mike Musty, Kenny Colfax, Cromlock, Professor Pissage, Corvonix, Jim, A Cat, Ramen, For Real, Peeboo, Ramon Sanchez, Kyle Edwards, Ken E, Cosmic, Jar of Sludge, Space Cowgirl, Old Timey Pondu, Lorenzo, Mosh Ultima, Shoop to Hoop, Automatic, Harold Larrell, Nebo, It's Sub, Ghost Hunter, Little Black Sea Dragon, Suki Satsuki, Shantek, Megami Man, Dr. Strangelove, Music Biz Mikey, Sam Man, Zeppo, Quinn Quimson, Dick Dastardly, Pope Fiction, Noel Garaby, Black Cherries, The Good Sphinx, Cat, One to Think, Ultim Zax, Larry Fishmas, Laura Smith, Jay Smokes, Dolphin Adoption Center, Lorenus, Controlled Chaos, Chung, The Might Bowser, Shark, Honda, Moonface, Pickle, Actius, Kenny, Agent Alex, Subject, TGK, Zacchaeus, Logan, Lieutenant Blackbutter, Josh Dayton, Lil Juju Boy, GH Champ, Crafts and Cartoon, Mordlim, Skeletor, Alpha T, Mage Hand, Slap Fight, Brock Lobster, Cowboy, Neat Life, Joshua, Drinking Drano, Kame Senin, Lork, Holy Wheat, Night Shroud, Sirius, Zal, Ted Comet, Blasted, Space Flex, Artie Garcia, Helena Fox, Peter, The Skunk Ape, Anthony, Rose T, Anonymous, Sarah, Jag Skulls, Blank, Clovis, Mr. Frosty, Eels, Jeff Weber, JT, Your Wife's Boyfriend, Skin King, IDK, Maddie, Vortal Coil, Peachy the Black Dragon, Blake L, Fictional, Barnabas, Esco, Not a Gamer, Iramu, Rice King, Light Grove, Will R, Cosmic Chai Latte, Cringe Minion, Quantum Cat, Duck Lord, Van Damage, Bizarre Showcase, Laura B. Fierce, Darth Senate, Joe Mama, Sadie T, Meatman the Black Dragon, Angela Elliott, Dingbat, Sons of Acronia, Kara, Davo, Kozak, Biohazard, Felix Fox, Rerun, Quaka, Matt Dunphy, Nacho Cheese, Jacob, Mr. Jinx, Raxloth, Viet Bong Vet, User 4841, Mr. Fantastic, Danny's Liberated Scaby, Chorito, Logan Whatnot, Borblin Grumblebee, JMT, CJ Plays Games, T, Woodsman, Vish K, Scott Bailey, Jacob is Lucas, Biff the Werewolf, Dillagaff, Ralph's Double Tits, Odie, Tim Bang, Henry Hawthorne, Z Money, Metal Beast, Jimmy Clark, Chaos Killer, Nocturne Saber, Matt, Sam, Silver Judge, Hibachi, Big Bayou, Wait What, I Hate Everything, Michael's Pooper Scooper, Cicada, J-Rock, Tico, Nelson, Dubsmain, Ziamara Moo, Daze the Bard, Stu Brew, Good Luck Gopher, Eleanor, Bubbles, Cereal, Bloody Mary, B-Mans, Mr. Doodle, MXAX, Ryan L, Pladampa, Birdie Cuda, Anthony, Floppy, Cod Rankwin, Anime Games, Requiem Agent, Bobby Queso, Dank Elf, Cheeseberry, Talia, Eggplant, Cryptid, Lord Gingis, Seven Dust, Memento Mori, Bravo Mike, E Sweezy, Kerma, Mello, Alex, Doobie, Cat, Drunk Monkey, Fried Goose, Chicken, Vaga, Oisin, Captain Cholera, Justice, Brodello, Left 4 Dead, CJ Awesome, Rand, Gwen K, Carmen Gryphon, Project Spiral, Jacob the Ham, Louis Couture, Bagov, Captain, Ragnarok, 300 IQ Mistake, Addis, D. Lazler, Dude Bro, Chad, Bing Bong, Colon Sausages, Was Dead, Spongy, Philly, Rosenrot, Lord Headass, M.A., Damn Wookie, Angel, Free the People, Garrett, Gonzo, Octagon, Bruh Moment, Marissa, Newman, Nick Flynn, Grand Doggy, Hit Rock, Boglum, Capybara Enjoyer, Eel, Tom, McDoom, Sleep Paralysis, Gremlin, Discostu, Teeth Tickler, A-Log, Obama Yum, Rose Harvey, Mighty Possum, Awesome Animations, The Satellite Man, Hugh Laurie, Nikolai JV, Jurassic Clark, Ian Anderson, The Rat King, Great Lake Sinner, Meta Knight Cooler, Bernie's Monster, A Pleasant Poto, Pelagio, Piper, Trev, Waylanda, Joey Huey, Lieutenant Dangle, Binksy Bree, Mamby64, Jesse Pinkman, Uncle Jerry, Joe Smother, Anton Levy, Gruffmane, OFS, Wumpa, Fishy, Squirt and Run, Sir Useless, AO, Coding Crusader, Delphin, Garth Maul, Arrogant Dreamer, Portuguese Horse, Danky Chung, Bob Meme, Leon, It's Just Mike, Altair, Stinkin' Bean, Psycho, Ed Boy, Big Brain Boyo, Flair for the Gold, Gillaball, Parker Shelton, Kiro, Johnny Midnight, Pharaohs, Time, Strange Candy, Lamone, Turtle Platoon, Charles Don't Give a Fuck, Austin, White Glove, Vibe Master Flex, DJ Cannon, Ludwig, Bob, Caroline, Trust Me, Dark Nozomi, Sticky Bun, Sad Pikachu, Chris H, Machiavelli, Alexander, Tubby, Honey Daddy, Rusty Shackelford, Arctic, John Smith, James Wright, Bastard the Green, JCA, Ding, JD Allen, Based Bigfoot, Bow Hill, Rob C. Zombie, Deadly Stranger, JK's Productions, JG Extra, Yummy Twan, Pedro, Aiden Dwyer, Benjamin Snail, Dead, Stinky the Black Dragon, Demon, Nimbo, Matt, Sly Coop, Obama the Black Dragon, Arcane Bullfrog, Time for the Juice, Jake 21, Morgan, Freeze, E. Zonda, Jacob Huey, Taylor, Saggy and Raggy, LEP, RD4, Niconian, Frostworm, Barbara Barbussy, The Spontaneous Idiots, Neon Legend, BTF Nation, Moldy Shoe, Johnny Slapnuts, The Feline Alchemist, Scoobaroo, Retrospect, Panana, Adam Beckett, Sarah Plix, Tilted J, Carl Shepherds, Pre-45 Productions, Carson McGraw, Jay Nocky, Alpha the Cool Kid, Anders Pack, Vasco, Butt Trumpet, Tommy, Chris Cartoon, Soda Joe, Ariel, Clone Geek, First Last, Pickman, Tony Soprano, Charlie Girl, Cannibal Lecter, Jenny, Sweet Maddie G, Lightning McQueen, Frazier, Grohl, Spark, Benjamin Dover, Mid, Babane, Samuel Israel, Evan Mercer, Snooply Doot, Devin Mueller, Antras, Fluffy with the Blicky, and Pebra. You guys are all goats, and anyone who made it to the end of this video, you're a goat as well. Now, I do want to say this because it's been a long time coming, and I absolutely hate that I have to do this. After this particular set of shoutouts, I realized just how long it's gotten. We're over 650 names now, and I hate to do this, but it looks like going forward we're going to have to stop doing the long shoutouts like this at the end of the video. But I want you guys to know I appreciate the hell out of you nonetheless. And we're still going to be doing the early access to the videos. I'm going to be adding some other perks there too, but damn, man, I never thought I'd get this far, but here we are. But I still fucking love you, goats, man. Just know that at the end of every video. But this all stems from last week. I got a comment from someone telling me, yo, I work and I drive and I can't even touch my phone. So when I'm listening to your videos, every time I'm at the end, I got to sit through this time and time again. And when I heard that, I was like, man, I didn't think of people who were in that situation. But man, just again, thank you all you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, great rest of the summer, man. It's hot everywhere, but shit, if it's too hot today, just sit down inside, relax, have yourself a good day, stay cool, my friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.